How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. Sometimes we find ourselves crying over the past, or we feel uncertain about the future, both of which leave us in an exhausting psychological anxiety. Few of us realize the damage that can occur to our health as a result of this excessive worry that can lead in the end to physical illness. The two famous doctors, Charles Mayo and William Mayo, who were best known for founding the Mayo Clinic in the United States, once found that more than half of the hospital beds were filled by people suffering from frustration, anxiety, and desperation. Arthritis, for example, is the most common ailment that anxiety can cause. There are also medical conditions that indicate that anxiety can increase the possibility of insanity and diabetes. Despite the popular belief, anxiety is actually something that can be easily overcome. In this book, Dale Carnegie says that there are two options for overcoming anxiety. The first option is to focus your attention on the present, which means to live your day without looking at what happened in the past and without worrying about what might happen in the future. The best preparation for tomorrow is in the mastery of today's work. As for the second option, is to ask yourself, what's the worst-case scenario that could happen to you? Could you lose your job, to end up imprisoned, or broke? Then accept this worst-case scenario. Assume for a moment that the worst is what will happen. This worst-case scenario probably isn't that bad, and you can probably get out of it. For example, if you lose your job, you can always find another one. Once you accept this worst-case scenario, you will likely feel more calm in order to find solutions for how to overcome your anxiety. Bit to remember, excessive anxiety is harmful to your mental and physical health, but there are easy solutions to overcome it. When the Dean of Columbia College, Herbert Hooks, conducted a study to look for the causes of anxiety, he found that at least 50% of people worry because they don't have enough knowledge to make appropriate decisions. Imagine, for example, that you work in a company, and the company fires a lot of employees every month. As a result, you will be worried about this problem, which affects your performance at work, but this is due to your lack of sufficient knowledge. And therefore, you must acquire the appropriate knowledge by collecting all the information which relate to the reasons for the dismissal of many employees from the company, and how you can improve your performance in your work, and how to keep your job. Then you will overcome the anxiety about the problem, and you will have a comprehensive picture of the problem by having the sufficient knowledge. The step of collecting information is one of the basic steps for solving problems, as by defining the problem and collecting the information related to it, then developing solutions and then choosing the most appropriate solutions and applying them, the problem will be solved. You should also realize that once you choose the best solution after analyzing the facts, you must apply the solution immediately, and you shouldn't go back to the analysis stage again. Going back and analyzing the past is a common habit of many people, who usually wonder if they did the right thing and if there is still time to take another path. Bit to remember, collect all the information about the problem that you're worried about, search for solutions, choose the best solution, and then apply it without hesitation. Stock market traders know a popular strategy called stop-loss trading strategy. Stop-loss means that shares are bought at a certain price, and then the evolution of their prices is observed. If things go badly and the stock price reaches a certain point, for example, if it reached 10% less than the price at which it was bought, it will be sold immediately, and therefore the loss won't be increased. Most people have an unfortunate ability to feel endlessly anxious and tense when they face any negative experiences, when in reality they will be better once they get away from these negative thoughts and feelings. One of the people who could have benefited from applying this stop-loss strategy is the Russian writer Leo Tolstoy, who lived a very bad married life. He has been living in continuous arguments and passing responsibilities with his wife for 50 years. Why didn't Tolstoy simply say, "Enough"? Why didn't he stop the losses that happened because of his suffering in this marriage? The stop-loss strategy can be applied on many negative feelings, including hatred and antagonism, just as the US President Abraham Lincoln did towards the people who were constantly attacking him. Bit to remember: don't drown yourself in anxiety or negative feelings. Put an end to yourself and force yourself to stop thinking about them. One of the greatest sources of misery and anxiety in life is when a person is obliged to work in a job that he hates. Success at work depends largely on your psychological state while you are at work, and whether you enjoy the work or not. Thomas Edison was working in his lab for 18 hours, and yet he used to say, "I never did a day's work in my life, it was all fun." Phil Johnson's father owned a laundry shop and hoped his son would work with him and then he could run the shop, but Phil wasn't interested in that and he chose to work as a mechanic instead. While his father was shocked by this decision, Phil was happy working with the machines that fascinated him. This interest in machines later led him to the presidency of Boeing. One of the ways to enjoy your job is to become organized. Surely many of us have many missed emails or unfinished tasks. Completing these tasks and organizing yourself will have a huge impact on your spirit and your enjoyment of work. Bit to remember: enjoy your job by organizing yourself and avoiding negative influences. Thanks for watching. Please follow our social media accounts. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.